All right, here we go again. Welcome back in the Bianconeri Zone Juventus post-match special. I'm Justin Sofer. I'll be your host today, guys. Um, what do we even say? 4 games in Serie A, 4 opportunities wasted for Juventus early in the season. I don't know what to tell you guys. It may seem a little bit early to I don't know, to put a cigar in it or whatever you want to call it. But I don't know. This season, at this point, this feels like a waste to me. It feels like missed opportunity after missed opportunity. When it comes to Juventus, literally we hit Malmo, thought maybe it was about time we're going to get some things rolling. Get good to go, right the ship, if you will, whatever analogy you want to use, whatever nonsense statement you want to say. Just wasn't there tonight. I mean, honestly, okay, that's not true. That's not true. They started off Alvaro Morata started off hot. Got some good things going, but overall, just after that, they took off in the second half. They did the same thing Juventus does a lot of the time, where they get off started on the right foot, and then after that, they get comfortable and they just go to sleep after that. And it's the same crap that we've seen for a long time, unfortunately. Anyway, let me go ahead before we really talk more on that game. I have a lot of notes. I was taking taking notes all game, so I have plenty of notes that I can talk about and things I want to go about this game, the way the match played out, whatever have you. Hopefully you don't hear. My son is very sick and he is upstairs. I can hear him screeching while I'm doing this, so hopefully that's not coming in on the mic. But anyway, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Everybody who's in here, what is up, everybody? Not exactly how I was hoping the season would start. I was hoping to actually have a positive Serie A post-match to talk about, but yet here I am again. And again, I'm alone today. Julian's out, and then Alia's got to do all the other post-match stuff when it comes to the Bianconeri Zone Twitter account and all that, covering the press conferences and all that nonsense. Let me hit on some of you guys that are in the chat. Appreciate it. Make sure, just leave your comments in the chat. We'll get to those as soon as possible. Give all your opinions the attention that it needs, that it deserves, because that's what we're here for. Something I really want to focus on in the future is what we do here. It's as the Bianconeri Zone, we kind of live by this motto of for the fans, by the fans. But I think one of the things that we failed to do, or at least that we're working on, that we need to get to, is really sharing your opinions too. I highlight those in the chat, but I want to be able to work in ways in the future where you guys can actually actively participate in the post-game show and the shows that we do here, rather than it just be me getting on here talking at you and just giving my opinion like that's all that matters. I want to hear you all. I want to actually have some more back and forth with you guys. But yeah, Juventus starts the season 4 matches in, 2 points, comfortably in the relegation zone. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. The one thing I will say, I know there's so many people that are getting on us and crapping on the channel, on maybe not on the channel, but more of us and our opinions. But I think at some point you have to stop being a cheerleader and you have to stop being a fake, everything's going to be fine, everything's going to be okay guy. And you have to realize the realistic situation that we have here, what we're working with. And that's why I kind of call this reality check Juve channel for what it is, because I can't sit here and tell you that everything's great when you watch what we just saw that entire second half, and just them laying a massive egg to finish that off. Let's get in with everybody. Certain ones, if they're too egregious of the takes that I'm seeing, I'll probably try to skip over a little bit. But yeah, I'll definitely let's see what you guys are saying. I would say FKP in pieces. I hope we can go to City B. Dear Lord, I don't. That's not gonna happen. I mean, it's never happened except for one time, which is an outside issue that caused that to happen when Juve really won. Obviously with Calciopoli, when they really won the Serie A that year. But yeah, I understand your frustration. I mean, this is worse than anything I saw with Pirlo last year, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating to really not see any kind of improvement. Like Malmo, again, I feel pretty confident in my statement earlier that Malmo was a crap team. Sorry, Raffle, if you're in here. But yeah, they're a crap team, and Juventus isn't much better. If you're here, please leave a like, hit the subscribe button. Appreciate you guys joining us on the channel. Syed saying Allegri out. I think that's too early for that. But it is a little worrisome that my man Allegri hasn't seemed to really improve much. Yes, we're 5 games into the season, including Champions League, but so far there's a lot of holes there. Cristiano Mike says team played well until about the 75th and they bottled it. Yeah, I mean they played well. My biggest criticism, and I have a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of criticisms, a lot of things that I want to go over. There were plenty of moments where they could have scored and they could have sealed this game early, or at least put a nice little buffer, if you will, on the match. And what they did is they failed to do it every single time. Rabiot, I want to bring up him. Rabiot, when he did, as soon as he even felt Tomori on his heels, he buckled up, or not buckled up. What's the term I'm looking for? Bottled it. Anyway, you said bottled it. That's why it's in my head. He just shut down. He just gave up on the play and literally just let Tomori catch him and tried to play for the penalty instead of actually taking a shot. He should have taken the shot way earlier. Made no sense. Anyway, let's see. Dax says Juventus is a joke to watch. Right now, it's not good. It's not good, my friend. It's not fun. I don't enjoy it anymore. It's a chore to watch these games. I'll be honest. FKPMP said Allegri always forgets about the bleeping second half. Yeah, I don't want to be that guy, but early on I got a feeling when I was watching this. I was like, please, please, please. You get that early goal. You get that early goal from Morata. Great run out from him on the counterattack doing that. But then I was like, they're going to go up 1-0, and they're just going to get comfortable. And they're just going to sit there. And they're just going to sit on it and see what happens. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what it felt like that they kind of happened there a couple times. And I got to give my boy Dybala his props. Dybala looked good today. Dybala gave a hell of an effort overall. For the club, it's unfortunate that didn't really pay off in the end. Andrew says Allegri tactics are so boring. Why one half good football and one half shit? Yeah, I don't know. I think there's still there's a lot of confidence issue. There's a lot of an attitude when it comes to this team where they just either, I don't know if they expect it to me. There's two sides. It's so confusing. Does this make sense when I say this? Where either I feel like they either feel confident that they're just going to have another team roll over for them and let them win, or not let them win, but you know what I mean, accept that Juventus is going to win, or is it more that they just expect that the other team, no matter what's, going to come back and beat them, and they're constantly going to be snake bitten every single time, and it's always just going to let it happen and reemerge itself. Yeah, I mean, it was rough a decade ago. Yeah, I agree with you, Ryan. People will say stuff out of frustration. Let's not. I hate when people do this. Let's not gatekeep on people being fans. Like, people are allowed to be frustrated. And the reason I do this stuff with Juventus, I do it with U of L. I'm one of those fans, I think, overall, when it comes to me, the way I fan or whatever you want to call it, is I don't celebrate a lot, if that makes sense. More of the stuff, I get more angry than anything, getting yelling and screaming about that than I do when something positive happens. When Juve won Serie A, heck, now it's been almost, year and a half, 2 years ago. I literally was just like, okay, good. It was just more of like a relief than it was excitement, which is not fun. It really isn't fun, but I can understand why people do it in different ways and why people have different ways of celebrating it or not celebrating it, if you will. Joseph says, what's up, Justin? What's up, Joseph? How you doing, my guy? Bro, we look so good for part of the match. Chances can't go wasted. There are a lot of wasted chances today. A lot of them. Definitely can really talk about that. You brought up about you thought Chiesa would have done more, though. I agree as well. There's actually a little bit I want to talk about Chiesa and his situation. Some things just kind of, I don't want to say irked me, but I mean, he got into the game, but I really didn't see him do much after that. But I will get into him later in the show. 2 points, what can go worse? And then we're Arsenal City. Yeah. Okay, let's calm down, guys. Well, actually, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you to calm down. I'm not going to tell you to calm down. 4 games in, and we have 2 points. You feel free to react however you want to react. I'm not going to tell you to calm down because I don't know. I'm getting closer to that panic button. If I have a panic button on here, I'm getting closer to pushing it. Is my sound okay? Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. What's up, Usman? What's up, Panine? The team is so mentally weak. Absolutely. We were talking about that in the Bianconeri Zone chat a lot. I know Aaliyah made the comment basically just saying about how they had no confidence out there at all. Anyway, let me jump into a few of the things that I want to talk about when it comes to the club's performance overall today. Basically, some of the notes that I had and what I really observed today. Well, unfortunately, the first note that I even wrote down, the first thing I even took was that Juve started today's match in 19th place in the table. Actually, I'll bring it up now. Let's just bring it up. I was going to do this later in the show, but let's just bring it up. Here's the Serie A table, guys. This is what we're working with at Juventus now. And you've got Inter and Milan in first place with 10 points. You gifted Milan a tie for first place. So congratulations, Juventus. You have done that. You have not only hurt yourselves, but you have bettered, your direct rival overall. And then now Juventus, they were in 19th place, so now they're technically in second, or not second, sorry, in 18th place. So comfortably in that relegation zone. I'm laughing because otherwise I'm going to cry. I don't know what to say. Just frustration starting off this poorly early on in the season. But yeah, you've dug yourself a gigantic hole. I'm pretty sure, I think we were about, well, where were we last year at this time? Were we a little bit, can I do this? No, it's so hard to do this there. This is so difficult. I guess I could just do that. That would be easier. I think we're somewhere, around like the 10th, 11th range sometime at this point last year. I need to go back and check. Somebody fact check me if you can. And you want to know, where were we at this point? We were still way more comfortable than we were now. Now we're just struggling even to stay in Serie A. So I'm just going to keep, let's just leave that on the side there just so people can enjoy just where we're stuck at right now as a club. It's frustrating. I hate this because I have so many notes early on that were positives. There were some positives in the first half. Let's just go over the positives, get these out of the way. I'm going to be done with being positive in just a second. So here we go. I would say Morata early on in the game, what I saw when he did that to get the 1-0 lead at the 4th minute on the counterattack. It was beautiful. It was good attacking football, something I wanted to see. Something I even put a note by saying, is Alvaro Morata underrated? And when I say that, what do I mean? I mean, I feel like he constantly, I talk about this a lot. I know I do. He constantly gets crapped on. He gets crapped on as a player for Juve. He gets crapped on as a player for Spain. He gets crapped on as anywhere, in the Champions League, whatever have you. And I feel like overall he's been a solid contributor. Why am I struggling to say that? A strong contributor for Juventus when in their attack right now. He's been one of the few guys who actually is capable of scoring. So that's something I'm looking at, and then also something to keep in mind next year when you end up buying or selling players, whatever have you. A couple other things I want to say. Get the positives out of the way so that way we can move on to the negatives. Alexandro is 2017 Alexandro back. He looked so much better from a lot of this game than he has during a lot of the first couple games, and then of course a lot of last season where I was ready to ship him off early on. Let's see. Also, Dybala. Dybala was very, very good. One of the things I want to say about Dybala, I'm going to get these positives out of the way, guys. I'm going to say my positives, and then I'll have all my negatives that I do want to say. What I will say is that Dybala, that in the 31st minute, I mean, I know you saw it, from the toss in from, who was it? Who tossed it in? Was it Bento? I can't remember who tossed it in. But anyway, on the toss-in play that set up Rabiot, where Rabiot crapped the bed and couldn't finish on that run out. But Dybala, that mid-air footwork to actually get the ball moving and to actually set up that play was beautiful. It was what I want to see from Dybala. It's the guy who's asking for that amount of money that he's been asking for. Excited to see that from him. Glad to see that from him. And then I wanted to say a lot of the times it got chippy. It got very, very chippy with a lot of these guys. And Dybala, who's not somebody I actually consider to be somebody who really, use the word cojones or whatever have you to actually get there in the scrum of things. And maybe I guess he does, but I just don't really see him. I don't perceive him to be that kind of guy. But he was in the thick of it multiple times, be it with Sandro Tonali or there's the Brozovic, or not Brozovic. Why am I saying Brozovic? What's the guy's name? Rebic. Yeah, there's Rebic. Without what was going on with him and Bonucci and all that back and forth. I enjoyed to see that fire from him. But my boy, if you watched him, by the time that he was getting pulled from the match, Dybala looked like he just walked out of him. Okay, this is timely. It's a timely reference. It's a rough topic, but it's a timely reference overall. What I would say is he looked like literally if you saw back on September 11th when I was, 12 or 11 years old back then in 2001 in New York, when you saw people walking out of that, he looked like that. He was covered in all the dirt and grime and stuff that you could get out there. He was beaten up. He was constantly getting into it. So I like to see that fire from Dybala. I like to see that passion, that effort. Would have liked to see a little bit more scoring, but I did appreciate that, at least from him. Let's jump into a couple more comments for you guys so I don't neglect this at all. Appreciate it. If you're here, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Kanan says, no blame on Allegri. Juve failed to score a second goal. The only player I feel that he shouldn't play anymore is Rabiot. Rabiot, I don't know. I mean, Rabiot's one of those guys, though, like, he has positive attributes. Like, there's a lot of positives, even though today was not a good game for him. He definitely gave up a lot of opportunities to score. He blundered that away, but I mean, also, he's better than Bentancur. Bentancur, so many times, I literally wrote this in the Milan notes. I don't even know what it was about, but at the 81st minute, I literally wrote Bentancur useless. So I don't know what exactly happened. I think that might have been the pass he was trying to make that literally got picked off to Dybala, maybe I want to say was at that minute. But whatever it was, he was useless. So I don't know if I fully agree with that, but I understand your frustrations with him today. Sure, yeah. Unfortunately, it's become par for the course when it comes to Juventus this season. Smiley Face says, why Allegri doesn't want to change? Why is he still defending when winning 1-0? Didn't he learn from his past mistakes? The game is on Allegri as much as he is on the players. I agree with that sentiment. I think that's true. But what I also would say at the same time, though, is a lot of it's just on guys failing to capitalize on opportunities of what they had. You had Rabiot, who should have taken a shot, who definitely could have done something there. You had Morata, even, who had a second opportunity for a score that he blundered a little bit. There's a lot of opportunities that were missed. It's definitely on Allegri, but I wouldn't say it's fully on him, if that makes sense. What's up, Nanda? Appreciate you tuning in. Loving the Siciliano flag in the background. Oh, yeah, thanks. Sorry, it's covered up right now by the beautiful City A standing. And the struggle that we're dealing with. Haneen says Rabiot is the key. We all know he doesn't have what it takes to be in the final third. It's hard for me to say that. Again, I know I keep doing this, and I don't want to keep taking up for Rabiot. But I want to say there's so many times that, like, what have we seen the last 3 years? Every single time at the beginning of the season, Rabiot is kind of crap. He kind of plays like crap for the most part. But then he comes back in, and by the end of the season, he ends up looking like one of Juventus's best midfield players. And that's not a stretch to say, though, because Juventus's midfield is so bad. I do want to even talk a little bit about Locatelli. He wasn't great today. He was not good. Let me see what I wrote down here. I wrote, well, obviously at the very end, that free kick he took was horrendous. But overall, I just said he didn't have a good game today. He was anonymous for most of the match. There was one opportunity that he created, and I believe that was when he had delivered. Let me find it real quick. I had it right in here. I want to say, I think he had. That's what it was. It was a pass that he delivered to Bentancur, and a wasted run that he did in the 73rd. Also, when I said Bentancur was useless, so there was something that Locatelli did, but not what I come to expect from him as a player for Juventus. And yeah, before we get into it, nobody else has said it yet. Somewhat of that header. Yeah, Tech was not there. He was not in place to really block that header. It was a really good header, though, by was that Rebic? Yeah, it was Rebic. God, he was on my nerves today. Mateen says we need Pogba, Kessié, and Icardi. Yeah, those would all be guys that would help. We're actually technically 18th place. That doesn't make it any better, but yeah, we're technically in 18th place right now. But yeah, Rebic is not. I'm not a fan of Rebic. Usman says, "Hey guys, hope you're all okay despite the crappy result." Yeah, it's it's kind of a shame too. And I said, I know I bring up my local teams and the whatever that I go through. It's actually been a really good sports weekend for me this weekend until now. And I thought, for 74 minutes, I was like, okay, this is going to be a great weekend. I'm going to have to get on here, come celebrate with you guys, go enjoy it, ham it up a little bit, And then Juve does what, and this is not, when I say Juve things, this hasn't been Juve things for a long time. It's become a Juve thing now, or the last how many weeks, months, or I guess it's been a year or so. That's become a Juve thing, which is just literally just collapsing. And Henning says the same thing. Great first half, then we collapse. A mentally weak team full of average players. There are a lot of players out there that you can look in to see that they don't deserve. Like Bianconeri is one who, unfortunately, you can't sell Bianconeri because of all that Boca Juniors crap. You'll just end up losing money. And as we've seen, Juventus right now can't afford to lose more money. What was it? 200 and something, whatever, million euros is what the deficit was compared to 89 or 80 whatever million euros last year. So we've dug ourselves quite a big hole to try to dig ourselves out of, and it's going to be a while. I don't want to say it's going to be a while, but it's going to be an effort to do that. My team says the best formation for Juve will be a 4-3-3 of Morata, Dybala, Keane, Rabiot, Locatelli, McKennie, Alexandro Bonucci, Delic, Quadrado. As much as I am an American guy, I don't know if I felt like McKennie would have made that big of a difference today, even in that formation. Was kind of surprised not to see Delic in. I kind of thought maybe we get a Delic Chiellini, combination today. So I was a bit surprised not to see him play, especially right now when you hear of all the nonsense that's been going on and floated out there with Raiola and all his talks about potentially leaving. I'm sorry. Just randomly I'm down here. I'm in my basement. I'm guessing there must be something like out by the there's a crawl space in the basement or whatever. And I think there must be like a cricket right outside there because I can hear chirping right now, but it sounds like he's in the basement with me. Anyway, smiley faces, defending the whole 90 minutes and just playing counterattacks versus AC Milan without their key players. Are you bleeping kidding me, Allegri? Yeah, it's very frustrating. What was also there? Weren't there reports that Maignan wasn't going to play, and then he ended up playing today? Does anybody else remember that or recall that coming up? What's up, Davide? Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that, Haneen. Let's see what else we got here. Usman says, I just don't understand how we're doing worse than Pirlo at the States. WTF, honestly, we should put the game to bed. That's something that really doesn't sit well with me, and I really can't process what is going on here right now when it comes to Juve, because you literally had Pirlo come in, and I understand. I don't care. Okay, this is the only time I'm going to mention Ronaldo. And I understand you had Ronaldo last year, but these are not issues that Ronaldo would rectify. Maybe Ronaldo finishes on a couple of those setup plays or whatever have you. It's just giving up that goal. I don't know, just the lazy passing, all this stuff. It's the same stuff that was going on when Ronaldo was here. So let me move on from the Ronaldo thing. I just want to say it before anybody else said it, just in case it came up. He lost to Young Boys, so we can move on. But basically, I don't know why they're struggling. It seems more than they struggle with Pirlo. It doesn't make any sense to me personally right now. All right. Rabiot was so slow in receiving through the ball multiple times. He can't run for bleep nor pass sideways. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we can give Alexander credit. We definitely, there we go, one positive. Alexander was good tonight. He was very good. He was good last game. Hopefully he keeps it up. None of us have to disagree on Dybala today. Not good enough. See, I mean, I guess what's your reasoning now? Are you saying because it was more of the are you saying more because he didn't score? He wasn't as when it came to the attack, because he definitely did a lot when it came to creating opportunities for the club and definitely fighting and putting it all out there. Yeah, he just didn't score a goal. But I honestly think Dybala had a pretty good game. I think, let me look at like my ratings that I have over here. I think he honestly was up there as one of the best players on the pitch today, or the field, or whatever you want to call it. That's just my personal opinion. Y'all tell me why I'm wrong. In the dark, you'll find Dybala. Let's not forget how this guy was running up and doing, and his soft orgasmic passes. He was, he was brilliant today. Thank you. See, there's so many. I love that it goes from Nadva then to smiley face. So y'all let me know, what's the consensus? Do y'all think Dybala wasn't that good? Because I thought Dybala was solid. I thought he was really good. Rambo says, how was Pirlo doing better than Allegri? We should have given another year to Pirlo. He managed to win these kind of games. But for now, Juve is getting better than the first games. I hope we can come back. I think a resurgence will happen. I think here's the thing. This was a tough stretch. We knew it was going to be a tough stretch coming into it. With Meet Napoli, than Malmo and Milan. Only winning 1 out of 3 of those is frustrating, and honestly, and I know people are going to disagree with me, but I wish we would have won either one of Napoli or Milan and not the Malmo match. Honestly, if we would have just drawn against Malmo, though, there was no drawing or losing that one. Juventus was barely comfortable playing in that game, regardless. But it's frustrating because you basically have the same situation. Napoli, you go up 1-0. Milan, you go up 1-0. Luckily, Milan, you could have easily done the same thing that happened against Napoli and gone down 2-1 and lost this, and dropped all the points. Though I really don't know that 1 point does much damn good to me right now. To me, 1 point is not as much better. I mean, it's obviously not much better than no points, but it really doesn't do much for Juventus. To me, I still think we're in a big hole, and I think I don't want to be doom and gloom guy, which I sound like I am right now. But overall, to me, the way I feel with Juventus is I almost feel like the season's kaput when you're talking about winning Serie A, when you're talking about competing there. Yeah, like I don't know how you're going to dig out of an 8 point. I mean, I know it's 8 points. 8 points doesn't sound as bad as it could be. Thanks to Inter drawing, was it last week or the week before? Milan having a draw as well, but still 8 points is a big hole, especially once they start playing the easier teams down the line. And your one opportunity to close the gap against one of the top guys, you dropped it today. Let's see. Ryan disagrees with Nanva. So does Usman. Usman says blame Allegri. There's a lot of fault on Allegri. Yes, I mean I also don't want to be that guy who's just an apologist for Allegri though, and say it's early in the season, give him time. But Usman says yes. Morata was and is ace around Turin. Showed he's one of Juve's most efficient goal scorers in their history. Yeah, he really is. He really does a lot. I just feel like the one thing I would say about Morata, and I don't mean this as being, I don't want to be too harsh or be too rude when I'm saying this. Sometimes he comes off a little soft. Does that make sense? I mean, we talked about the whole thing about, Buffon sitting him down and talking about him, or was it Chiellini as well? I think it was Buffon, though, about basically just toughening up a little bit. Because there's sometimes he can come off a little soft. And, there's also, I mean, in comparison, personality-wise, but then also sometimes some of the shots he takes, he just doesn't put enough oomph behind them. And they become easier to stop, if you will. Let's see. Okay. What else we got here? This one says we need a 6A that can help feed the attack that's much more than we're currently doing now. Yeah, that is true. It's true. You definitely need to get some more guys in their midfield to definitely bolster that, to help out with Locatelli and whoever have you. Let me 1 sec. Okay. Usman. Now, Bindiker was brilliant today. He needs to work on his judgment and use his head a bit more. See, I show me. I mean, I guess show me what I missed with him, because I don't fully agree with it, but yeah. Raffle says 4 games, 2 points, very mediocre performance. I am disappointed. Yeah, we all should be. Joseph says, I know McKinney has been doing well, but he should have came in for Rabiot. Yeah, I could definitely see that, maybe for a Rabiot to come in. I give him a little bit of time. I think, overall, I'm a little bit down on McKinney, but maybe it would have been an opportunity to have him come in there. Maybe he could have had one of those, one of those, I don't want to say miraculous scores, but, one of those much needed boost of adrenaline in there. Because we saw it against Malmo Malmo. But when he and Moise Kean came in together, and they were definitely creating together and working hard to actually move the ball in an attacking, instead of just moving it, vertically. Yes, they were moving it horizontally instead of vertically. I think I said that right. Anyway, Rabiot was in position to score a few times and bottled it. That's why he shouldn't be put in that position to begin with. We need Chiesa on the left side. Yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to bring up. And let's just think, Sanine, that's a good point. I brought it up a little bit earlier. But literally, I sat down there and I looked at, I looked at what was going on. I looked at it. Why am I struggling right now to actually get this thought out? You know what I'm saying? Chiesa. So we have the whole situation throughout the last week or so. We talked about it against Napoli. He's out with a knock. I keep hearing the term knock. He's got a knock. And then Malmo. We're resting him. He's going to be back. He's still got that knock, but he's going to come back and he's going to be there against Milan. Then the starting lineup comes out for Milan, and he's not starting. He's on, obviously he was on the roster, but he wasn't starting today. I thought at a time that we were waiting for him, we were saving up all the time and, and healing him up so that way he can be there for the big match when you needed him. But then, starting lineup comes out, and he's not there either. And then what did he come in? Let me pull it up right now. What time did Chiesa come in? He came in the 72nd minute. So 18 minutes left in the game, and that's when you decide to put in Chiesa. Literally 2 minutes before the equalizing score. I just don't understand that. I really don't understand what is going on. Is Chiesa is there more of a serious issue there than we think? Or is Chiesa just are they really just being overly precautionary? But to me, why are you being precautionary at this level when Juventus has two of the matches that I would say, and maybe they just view them this way. You got Spezia coming up Wednesday. Sunday you got Sampdoria. Then the next Wednesday you have Chelsea in the Champions League. But yeah, I'm not even gonna give my opinion on that. And then you have Torino and Roma following that. So my main reason I come up with that, I'm just looking at it this is a big match that matters a lot for you to have won. And if Chiesa is not healthy for that, what is he doing? Is he actually injured or not? And then I also don't want to hear that you're just saving him for Spezia and Sampdoria because those are the games that you want to win and you should win or whatever have you. Does that make sense? I don't get it. I don't understand what's going on with him. I want to hear. I want to get an update. Usman says, "Don't get me started. Tech needs to grow a pair. How does he still not command this box? How long has he been here? For bleep's sake, he needs to get better now or leave." The goal was terrible. I don't know with it being a corner, how much he could have really done in that situation. But there was that moment. Let me have where I read it down. When was it? Did I delete it? Okay, yeah. In the 86th minute, that was a huge save that Tech gave on Kalulu or whatever, however you say it, for Milan. If not, we'd be sitting here with no points today. Today. I was like, what am I saying? Yeah, this evening, tonight, whatever time it is for you. So I have to give him a little bit of credit there. But yeah, Tech is still. Again, I'm not going to go back down that road today. I'm not going back the Donnarumma road. We should have had Donnarumma. Tired of Tech, all that nonsense. What I will say is I've had a lot of crap come in. There are certain fans, and I don't get it. I'm sorry, you guys, if you are one of those fans, I don't get it. The people that come in and leave comments saying, don't ever say negative things or disrespectful things about specific players, about Juve or their play or who they are or whatever. I don't understand that brainwashed mindset you have of or maybe what I'm saying is you need to do better yourself personally, be better, expect more of a freaking team than just expecting what we get from Tech day in and day out and tell me that's okay because he's a Juve player. So it's perfect because no, it's not. It's horrible. Anyway, it's ridiculous. I don't think Tech was the biggest problem today. He wasn't great by any means, but he wasn't the biggest problem today. Sadaham says, what the hell's wrong with this team? You tell me, buddy. You tell me. There's a lot wrong with this team. We got a lot of work to do. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Please like the channel as well. Raffle, if we don't win Spezia, alarm bells, the club is in bleep. My guy, I'll be honest, my alarm bells are already off right now. They're already going on right now. I don't know if Spezia, yeah, it just continued. But at one point, so what are the stages then, Raffle? What are they going to be? Spezia and then Sampdoria? If you lose both of those or if you draw both of those? What's the next level of bleep that you can be in? How deep does it go? He was doing okay today. It's not his fault. You can see his frustration when Milan scored. I did see him lose it and punch that. If we had Icardi, we would have won 2-1. Yeah, I had a bit of frustration with Moise Kean and some of the. He didn't play that much, obviously, but there were a couple times where I expected him to be able to do a little bit more, and he got frustrated. He made dumb decisions. I'm not just trying to go at every player right now, but I was frustrated because I expected a little bit more of Moise Kean than what he did when he came in. But it was frustrating not to have somebody else come in there and finish. Yes, the Cricket's also voicing his displeasure with his team. Maybe he's in here somewhere, and I don't know. Basements, you never know how they can get in. He's sitting in the corner. And he watched the game with me, and he's pissed too. Edgar says the team played well and there's a team ethic developing, unlike in the CR7 days. But individual finishing is also important. Icardi would have closed up the game. Yeah, maybe it's just you need a more lethal attacker in this moment. You really do. You can't be happy 1-0. And I know I mentioned it. I talked about it all summer where I was like, oh, go get Allegri. I'll be happy with a 1-0 win. But if your defense isn't holding down to keep it to a 1-0, what was it? I think now, where is it? Let me pull it up. Yeah, I think now we're looking at literally Juventus is sitting at what's the number? Is it 18 or 19? 18 or 19 straight. I think it's 18. I want to pad it too much for him, but 18 straight matches without a clean sheet, which is it's not Juve quality. I was going to say embarrassing, whatever have you. Whatever it is, it's not good. Hi Juventini, real fans stick to their team in good times and bad times for the Juve. Yeah, I agree. I'm sticking to my team. I'm pissed at my team, but I'm sticking with them. Rabiot almost let Kalulu score. He let him alone, unless Alexandro shouldn't have gone to Central. Yeah. There was a lot Rabiot did wrong. Let me look at what is Rabiot. Let's see what he graded out as on a lot of things. Was he the worst? I think the worst one. No, he wasn't the worst. The worst they had out there were a tie between Szczesny and Locatelli. Surprisingly, just from the metric I'm looking at, but it's a metric, so take it for what it's worth. It feels like I was watching Udinese game, to be honest. Yeah. Usman positives. Dybala and Morata chemistry look insanely good. Yeah, they did. Kong and Bonucci were brilliant. Panita was busting his guts, and Sandro looked like a beast. Yeah. All those are good ones. You got to give credits to those guys. I will say Cuadrado. I don't know. I expected more from Cuadrado. I don't think he was that good today. He's the one guy that I'd say I felt like was not that good. Of guys that I usually get a regular performance out of. Edgar, Dybala was tired as he ran a lot for the team, hence why he was sub. But Kulu should be loaned out. He's not ready for Juve now. Yeah, that is something that I will say, and I will battle Julian on, because I know Julian is a big Kulusevski guy. He's a big believer in Kulusevski. He thinks he's going to do a lot, or he believes in him. And there was a Kulusevski we saw at Parma, but he is just not. He looks like he's got a little bit of stage fright every time he comes on for Juventus. He never looks like he's really got it together. He doesn't look confident at all. So yeah, I'm not full on saying he should be loaned out already, but yeah, I don't think he's ready for Juventus right now. I don't think anybody was bad today. They just didn't play at a top level in the right moments and didn't step up. That's the news says too reasonable. We need to rage now. That's a very good point. I mean, Saddam's not wrong. He's not wrong, because I will say I watched this game and I was taking notes for anybody to be horrendous. I was looking at somebody to pinpoint to yell at, and honestly, the guy. I mean, I'm not gonna turn around, but like the guy who was one of the worst was the guy who's on the back of my shirt, which is Manuel Locatelli. He wasn't very good, but he wasn't terrible, if that makes sense. He was very average, very below average. Why are we playing Rabiot left mid? Guy can't attack to save his life. There's moments though, guy. There's plenty of moments where once he gets it together, he is an offensive threat. It's just he's not doing it yet. He's not doing it this season. We've seen it in past seasons, but you're right though. We really shouldn't have him. I'm sorry. I forget my golden retriever's down here, and he's getting into a bunch of crap. So I just heard a noise and I forgot that he was over here, and then it scared me for a second, got me a little jostled. Allegri's doing very well so far. We're becoming a better team. We will win Champions League in 3 seasons if we avoid losing people like Donnarumma and coming windows. That's some confidence there that I need you to inject that into me and somehow share that with me, Edgar, because I don't know where that's coming from personally. Main reason I say that is because winning Champions League in 3 seasons, you have to hope not to lose guys like Matthias de Ligt. You can't lose guys like him. You have to find a way to make big purchases. You got to be able to purchase a Haaland, a Vlahovic, whatever have you, this next market. You've got to offload guys like Ramsey. I don't know. There's a lot of work to do. And then you got to find a solution at that keeper position. So I appreciate the positivity, but there's a lot of things that I can already think of that makes me a little bit frustrated. John Stewart says, when is Archer back? I think he actually, I want to say he's supposed to be back by the beginning of the month ish. I think actually he's healed, right? So I'm pretty sure he's healed, but I don't know when he's going to get the clear to actually start playing again. But yeah, and then Edgar goes along with what you're saying, John, and says we need Archer alongside Locatelli in the midfield. It would make it would be a nice boost, honestly, for what Juventus needs right now. Then Felipe says, and I apologize, my guy. Sometimes it's hard for me to pick out what you're saying. Hello, Juventus. You have big problem. 1 Max, coach. 2 is Cuadrado, stairs. And Sandro out. In Zidane, coach. Well, Zidane's not happening right now. It's not happening. The coach is Allegri. They're paying him. You're going to have to do whatever they can with Allegri. What's 2? Cuadrado, stairs. Sandro, wait, out. Somebody let me know. My guy, I like you, Philippe. I just don't know what you're saying. You have to help me out here. Let's see what else we got here, guys. I want to make sure I'm touching what everybody else is saying. Tevin saying that Dybala hype went out the window. I don't agree with you. I think Dybala was good. I don't think Dybala was bad at all. I mean, if you're just saying he didn't score or anything like that, that's a fair criticism. But I think overall he was doing other things. Like my main problem, the main reason why I'll get on here and bitch and moan and scream and yell about a player being bad is when they're just doing nothing and being useless. Dybala was not doing that. Dybala was creating moments. He had highlight reel moments out there. But he didn't score. He wasn't as really attack minded today, which is a little bit, I don't know if I want to say surprising, but yeah. Usman, my bad, Justin. After having Gigi Buffon, Tech seems like a massive downgrade. No, he is. He is compared to Buffon. I agree with that. When I have moments, trust me, I will. I'm like a shark in water. When I smell blood, I'll let you know. When it comes to Tech, I'm ready to move on. But at the same time, there's just certain times where I can't just go at him when it wasn't all his fault today. Gigi had his amazing aura at the back. We need that again. We could use him right now. We could bring him back from Parma, honestly. Intermezzo. Fagioli did have his first goal City before Cremonese today. I don't think bringing him in is going to make a huge difference, guys. I know some people may be keen to jump back on to the Fagioli train or, whatever, but I don't think Fagioli's going to be the guy to really bring in right now. Let me get rid of this. This is depressing. I don't know about you guys, but why am I terrible with this? Yeah, there we go. I can get rid of this. We don't need this anymore, right? There we go. Okay, that's better. Usman says, real UA fans are loyal to their players. They critique and praise their players. If you don't meet our standard, then don't let the door hit you on the head. This is UA, no players beyond reproach. I mean, the one thing with me whenever we talk about athletes and we talk about stuff like this, I always get so annoyed personally when people don't like when you criticize athletes. The closest I can come to like agreeing with that statement is when it comes to like collegiate athletes, like here in the United States, NCAA players, because a lot of them are playing for quote unquote free, which, backhand deals, are behind, whatever, under the table deals, whatever have you. Now they can get money from it. But before they're playing for what you say is free, they get a scholarship, they get all that. There's other bonuses you get. But compared to like what, professional athletes make. The reason I don't agree with people saying that you can't critique, I know you're not saying that, Usman, but like people saying you can't critique the players that are here, it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, they're getting paid millions and millions of dollars, more money than you will probably, a lot of us that are probably in the chat or whatever have you will see in our life in like a year. In 1 year, they make more than that. And yet over here, they're saying you can't critique that guy. Like, I'm sorry, no, there's a reason you get paid that much. There's a reason. Edgar says Dybala has the talent. It's mental strength he lacks. He's overflowing with ideas and talent, but no mental strength. That's fair. Okay. To me, Fagioli seems more ready for Juve than Kulu. Both, however, should be out on loan. And I do agree with you there. There's moments that Kulu has, like short little moments of brilliance that I've seen from him during his Juve career so far. But it's never enough. It never sticks. Even in those games where I do see it, it seems to taper off a little bit, and that's why I get frustrated with him. We can say Icardi this and Icardi that, but Tomori was excellent today. He shut everyone down. Allegri cannot find a way to respond to it. Alarm bells should be ringing. Actually, I do want to jump back into my notes a little bit. Besides, and I apologize, I do want to talk. I do want to have all your comments and all that. We can go over it. But there was a lot of what I would say, I would call it chippiness today. I don't know if anybody else noticed this or anybody else really had an opinion about it. But me personally, I was getting a little bit annoyed, a little frustrated. Players like Sandro Tonali, who I really like Tonali. I won him at Juventus. But he was getting really, really chippy. Him and Dybala going back and forth. He took a shot at Dybala. He took the Rebic and Bonucci. I think I want to say, who else did I have? I had written down Tonali, Dybala skirmish. And Dybala did check him. Dybala did check Tonali on that one, so I have to give him a little bit of credit. Let's see, who else was getting? I had Murata and Tonali. He was getting really dirty with Murata, and I think that one time when they said they called on him, I'm pretty sure Murata backtracked to get he got like into Tonali, and I think he got the whistle on him. But I'm pretty sure that was really Murata getting a little bit frustrated and backtracking on Tonali to take him out, undercut him a little bit. But it was a frustrating match. You could tell there was a lot of fire there between the players. But there's a little bit of it got a little bit dirtier than I was really hoping to see out there today. But that's part of the I guess it's part of the game. Ryan says Bindiker was the worst today for him. I tend to agree with you. Bindiker was the one. Well, let me look at things again. Yeah, it'd have to be him because the defense was fine overall. Sandro was good. Locatelli was, I would say, my worst guys were like Locatelli, Rabiot, and Bindiker. A lot of the reason for that though is more because I expect more of Locatelli. He's shown better. We know he's better than this, so that's my personal opinion. Ralph was asking what's going on with Kyle George. Is he alive? He's alive. He's just recovering, man. He had that injury or whatever that took him out for a bit. Chesney was shouting at Rabiot and was literally pulling Rabiot to stand at correct place. Guess what? Rabiot ignores and concedes the exact spot where Chesney wanted Rabiot. I'll have to go back and watch that. I need to see that. If that's true, then I need to cut Chesney even a bit more slack than I did already, which is not something that I like to do. R.I.P. Francesco Marini, who was honored with a minute of silence before the game. Yeah. Rabiot was lousy as an offensive threat. Locatelli's better as a threat. Well, that's true. That is definitely true. If we can't sell Bindiker, maybe swap. Imagine swapping him with DePaul. That's not going to happen. There's no way. That would be such a weak deal for them if Atletico were to swap him for Rodrigo DePaul. That's not going to happen. I don't think so. Locatelli should play Mansala being wasted in current position. Yeah, but I mean, right now he's the best that they got, and that's what they have to use right now. I'm pretty sure that's why they're using him in that situation. Chiapana from Venezuela. What happened? I think Tech could get that last ball for a win. What? Sorry, I'm trying to. He could have got, or like he could have saved that shot. I mean, I don't know. I think he was blocking. I mean, I think he was in fine position. If you're saying that part, I'm sorry. I apologize, Hector. I'm trying to understand exactly what you're saying. That what happened. I think Tech could get that last ball for a win. I don't know. Can somebody help me? Somebody help me with this one, Hector or Hector, if you can resend it. Just gonna confirm what you're saying. He also said Rabiot was kind of distracted from the beginning. Yeah, he was playing out of it today. A lot of issues there with Rabiot overall, and then also if Edgar or whoever, I think it was Edgar who said that was right. I want to check that and see if Rabiot really was put in position by Tech, and then he moved out of it, and that's why he was so angry. Which would make sense because I remember watching that and just seeing how pissed Tech looked after that ball went in. That would make sense. That would make a lot of sense. The table was a reminder of our shame. Yeah, I had to get rid of it. You want me to put it back up? There you go. Here's your shame. There you go. Everybody, look at what you've done. Look at what you've done to us. To be honest, I expect to lose after seeing the starting defense. Sandro, Chiellini, Bonucci, and Danilo? What was wrong with that? Johnny, let me know what was wrong with that. I honestly thought it was a good defense. I thought they were good. I didn't see any. I didn't have a lot to criticize there. Did you guys? I don't know. We'll get possibly the semis in Champions League this season, especially if we use January window well. Maybe. I don't know. Again, like I said, I guess I have to focus on Champions League now, because if this is what we're getting, we may not be in Champions League for a couple more seasons, which is sad to say. All right, Usman saying the reason why Kulu isn't effective is because he's not nailed down a role or position. He's a world beater in the making. We need to be patient with him. That's fair. That's probably the same thing. Did Julian text that to you to write that in there, Usman? Is he feeding this to you? Blink twice if you're being held at gunpoint. In the first half, I saw the best Juve ever. I don't know why they haven't kept that momentum. Yeah, there was a lot of positive vibes, positive feelings, though. During that first half, it is frustrating to see them kind of fall apart the way they did. Or, I guess I wouldn't even say fall apart. I would just say they just let their foot off the gas. They just were content to take it easy. They felt like they were going to walk away with a win, and then there you go. Despite all the good passes and dribbling and defending, he didn't fight till the end. That's the problem. Yeah, that's the biggest part. Thank you. Good point, Ryan. Thank you very much. The main problem with what Juventus and what we saw today was there was no fino alla fine. They're not playing by it. They're not living by it. They literally got the goal in the first half, went up 1-0, and were content to literally just go to the end, just coast to the end without trying to fight to ensure the victory. So it was frustrating. This is a transitional season. I mean, it shouldn't be, my guy. It shouldn't be a transitional season. Honestly, yes, last year should have been the transitional season. I appreciate it, Hector. I'm sorry. No, you're good, Hector. It's my bad. Sometimes it's hard for me to multitask, read, and process and all that, and make sure I know what everybody's saying. Game of Thrones scene where the lady says, "Shame, shame." That's what it feels. That's what it feels like right now. No, Julian did not text that to me. I don't mind going on loan. Whatever helps his development. Makulu's a world beater in the making. I would hope. I mean, we'll see. I hope he becomes something special. I don't know. I'm not a believer right now. Unfortunately, I apologize. Hector says, I was beginning to get frustrated when I saw that we didn't make another goal for a 2-0 or a 2-1. Yeah, there were a lot of missed opportunities. You probably could have had it 2-0 at halftime. And then you obviously walk away with 3 points. It's just so frustrating. All these missed opportunities. Napoli, this game, Udinese. Just frustrating. Every single one I guess let's look back. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this up real quick. Okay. Empoli was the only one. Empoli was the only match that I felt like Juventus was like thoroughly. It's not really thoroughly beaten. Does that make sense? But 1-0, Juventus was just doing nothing. They were creating nothing. They had nothing that game. But Udinese, Napoli, and then Milan, all three of those matches you should have won. So you should be sitting here with 9 points, 1 loss to Empoli, and then we'd be okay. I would be frustrated, but we'd be okay. But instead, you sit here with 2 points in the relegation zone, and you have to laugh. You have to laugh at this point. Bon, I agree with you. Where was it? There it is. Get Rovella back in January. He'll do better than Bentancur. Dude, Rovella looks really good. If you've watched any of him for Genoa, he's their best player right now. And I think if I were Juventus, I would consider recalling him in January and adding him to the squad and playing out the rest of the season with him. I think he could be a solid midfielder for Juventus' future, and also a solid midfielder for the Italian national team, not that we care about that right now. Justin says, formation change is needed, a 4-3-3. Play Chiesa on the right, Bernardeschi on the left, Dybala as the center forward. I don't know. I don't know about Bernardeschi. The Bernardeschi ship sailed for me. That's my personal opinion. I like Berna, but I just don't see it. I don't see it coming to fruition anytime soon. Usman, a question. Will Allegri mix it up for Spezia or stick with the same? Usman, what do you mean when you say switch it up? Mix it up, whatever. Explain to me mix it up. What do you mean? Start using like young players that aren't being utilized right now? Because if you look at the roster of what we have right now, you start off, today was, 4-4-2 with Paulo Dybala, Morata, Rabiot, Locatelli, Bentancur, Cuadrado, Danilo, Bonucci, Chiellini, and Sandro. In the defense, I probably would have, maybe if you want to put in De Ligt instead of Bonucci there makes sense. Sandro was good. The one guy who I critique the most would be Alexandro. Danilo, would not love to use a 4-4-2. That would be another option that I would prefer not to use if we're talking about mixing it up. But then if we're going to our to the other guys we have and options to use, let me know what you would do then. I mean, are you talking about using a guy like Weston McKennie? Are you talking about Bernardeschi? Are you talking about, Chiesa is a guy I definitely would have starting if he's healthy. I just don't know what Chiesa's situation is. And that's the one thing that frustrates me the most is Chiesa healthy, or is he, is he still playing through something? And then we can get to the conversation of Mattia Perin. I mean, they talked about it too. I don't know if you watched an English broadcast, but I watched it in English. I think it was Matteo Benetti was talking about Mattia Perin and just saying, basically just saying that the reason Juventus haven't used him is just because he's just not up to snuff yet. Still, what are we saying yet? He's 28 years old. So like either he's up to snuff or he's not. Either he's just a backup, and when Szczesny gets hurt, that you have somebody that's way worse than even what we're getting with Szczesny, or what. I know a lot of people are still calling for him instead. And then what else do you really have here? I'm looking through right now. Would you start Moise Kean earlier? Would you get him going from the beginning? But then usually it's really him and Morata that are switching back and forth. And Morata was great from the beginning. So I don't know. I would switch up formation though. And I agree. I see. Where are you at? Justin Daisley was saying, yeah, formation changes needed. Chiesa, Dybala, Bernardeschi. I don't know about Bernardeschi, my guy. Ryan says Rovella, Locatelli, and then Fagioli or Ranocchia should be the main midfield. I'll be honest. I would sign up for Rovella, Locatelli, and then maybe I'm just Ryan. I'm not one of those guys that just buys in to the youth, and I like Fagioli. I like Ranocchia. I think they still got a ways to go. Personally, that's just my personal opinion. I would do like a Rovella, Locatelli, and Archer. Maybe when he's healthy. What do you think about that? We have the team in red. I wonder what Agnelli and Nedved are thinking. I would like to hear some of their opinion. I mean, obviously you're not going to hear it. You'll hear some stuff get out there, but they have to be frustrated. But also, what are they going to do? What are you going to go up to Allegri, who you just signed up here? What are you going to do? You're going to boot him already? I think there's stuff that he's working on. I hate to be this guy. I don't want to be this guy. I want to be the let the cake bake guy, because there is a bit of that, and that's true. You have to let the cake bake a bit. But at the same time, there's shitty ingredients so far in the first in the prep work that you're doing, is what I'll say. Guys, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button for us as well. If we get to 30, that'd be really nice. I'd really appreciate that. After a rough day for me personally. Edgar, this year is a further transition season after last season. Stop next year being a further transition year. We have to sell one of De Ligt or Dybala. Well, you hit me with a hell of a question there, or a hell of a statement. So you're telling me that you think Juventus... Explain this, Edgar. Why does Juve have to sell De Ligt or Dybala? Just to try to buy someone else? Or... explain that to me, Edgar. Edgar, explain your position and what you're reasoning, what business deals will get done. Are you saying to go get a guy like Pogba, to get a Vlahovic, to get a Haaland, or whatever have you? Explain that for me, please. It was fine. Will he change the formation, a new lineup, different tactics, etc.? If Allegri looked for an evolutionary change, maybe. I don't think you bring Allegri in to not have him be Allegri. I don't think you bring him in to not have him play his style of football, which is like he's got to get guys working in with him, and actually working into a system and actually playing it well, locking down in defense, but then also actually. I can't say this because he's not an offensive-minded coach, so maybe he'll try to change, but I just don't know if he really is going to change that much. Justin says midfielders Locatelli, Rabiot, and Cuadrado. That's what we had today, except for you added what's it called in there with them? You had Rabiot, Locatelli, Bendiker in there with him. So I mean, I guess you just move him around position wise then. Jockey Bro says our formation was good, our defense was good, our forwards were okay, but our mids were poor. Rabiot and Loca are at fault for the goal. Loca was marking and lost his man, and Rabiot was ignoring Tech. Yeah, so that's multiple people have said that. So I definitely need to go back and check that out because I had missed that moment where Tech had put Rabiot in position, and Rabiot just completely ignored him and just did whatever he wanted to do. And then Locatelli deserves criticism today. And I think Bendiker was bad, honestly. Usman, with respect to Spezia, we need to start putting. He can handle it. And Spezia, he's one of the best goalkeepers in the making until his injuries. You know what? I don't know if I agree with about him being the, one of the best goalkeepers in the making. But what I will say is I think maybe Spezia is a match that it's a time that you put him in there. Just to try to test him out, see how he does. Justin Davis says 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. Yeah, I agree. I think the times that we've seen every time it seems that they try to sell a 4-3-3 with Allegri, they try to make it a 4-3-3 that switches to a 4-2-3-1 and back and forth. Honestly, I probably would go more of a 4-2-3-1. Honestly, but that's just me. Archer, Locatelli, Rovella, these are the best midfielders. Yeah, I agree. Yes, that's exactly what I would play. I would recall Rovella whenever you can do it. And then I'd play those three guys together when Archer is healthy and see how roll the ball out and see how it goes. A random question, but should we do more youth development via the first team like Barca do? I don't know. I mean, but okay, here's the thing. If I say yes, then my argument is against everything I'm saying. So I don't fully believe in that. I think Juventus has kind of had their system where they go in and they call guys up or they purchase them, you know what I mean? And they don't do as much of the development as some other places. But then if I'm saying yes, they should, then that means that Ranocchia and Fagioli should be playing with the first team right now. Does that make sense? That's kind of how I view it. Your question there. Bones says try Morata and Keane up front from the start. I would be interested to see that. I would like to see that, honestly. If you're gonna have Dybala out, maybe to see how they gel together, or if you move them into like a trident with a 4-3-3. Ryan says no, we cannot have two pivot midfielders starting because it would be like a defensive-minded squad. Yeah, that's true. I'm just looking more at the best players than we have. Honestly, what works, you know what I mean? Sure, I like him. Never seeing Juve not winning after 4 matches. Yeah, this is an uncomfortable situation we're not used to. Can you get rid of the fossil, please? Oh, you're saying Dybala's a fossil? No point in signing him for a long, expensive contract for this version of himself. Johnny, I gotta disagree with you. I don't know. I didn't think Dybala was bad. I thought Dybala was good today. I don't know. That's that's me. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I'm beginning to think that Dybala thinks that he could have other options. I mean, he does have other options, which is one. I mean, I've thought about that for a while. I thought, he's kind of put off the contract signing. He might very well be looking at those options, especially if, if Juventus doesn't end up putting up what he wants. Hector says, I thought Madrid wanted to buy Allegri. Imagine him arriving in Madrid, losing the first 4 matches. Does Bendiker do anything? When was the last time he scored? Bendiker is not a scorer. Bendiker is not going to want to score. Bendiker will do anything but shoot. Like, for the most part. The only time he's taken, 2 reluctant shots that I can recall off the top of my head. And every single time he doesn't want to do it. So, no, he's not going to be an attacking mid at all. That's not what Bendiker does. But I understand what you mean. I thought Madrid wanted to buy Allegri. Imagine him. Yeah, but yeah, I think... Yeah. Sorry, I just was rereading it. I was like, did I get it all right? Timothy says, with our style of football, Haaland won't be able to get more than 15 goals. I think honestly, if you have Haaland, though, he can just... I mean, Haaland is what I kind of... I said I wouldn't say the name. He who must not be named, the guy who left. Haaland's what I feel like could be what I expected out of Ronaldo, where you just put him out there and he's going to get his no matter what. He will get it and he will make sure he does it. Allegri needs to change things quickly. 4-4-2 is definitely not successful in City. Yeah, it's definitely wearing on me at this point. Seeing that thrown out there this often early on. I could start Dybala as a trequartista and Trequartista, sorry, I couldn't get it out, and play King and Morata up top. I'd be interested to see that at least. Hey guys, if you haven't hit that like button, if we could just get 3 more likes, that'd be really nice. It'd be really, really appreciate us. It would really help the channel a lot. So all you have to do is just hit that little like button. Just hit the like button. Just real quick. Crazy Ray says we need to play a 3-4-3 with Delict, Bonucci, and Chiellini in defense. Archer and Locatelli in the mid. Quadrado and Alexandro at wingbacks. Front 3 of Chiesa, Dybala, and Morata. Yes or no? Okay, so my main issue with this is people keep talking about wanting to switch to a 3-4-3 or something like that. We talked about having to do that before the Napoli match. My main issue is Juventus has not trained or played using a 3-man defense like at all. And how long? So it would take a very large adjustment to do that. So I just feel like you're changing so much. The defense, who's been solid-ish enough, I feel like you're doing them a disservice by doing that. That's the only thing I see. But I understand what you're saying though, because if you use it that way, you do have your 3 best defenders in Delict, Bonucci, and Chiellini in there. And then you have Archer, Locatelli in the mid, Quadrado, and Alexandro as wingbacks. That way you're using Alexandro properly, and then Chiesa, Dybala, and Morata. It's not terrible though. I don't dislike it, Crazy Ray. It's just my only criticism would be is I just worry about the 3-man defense, and that's really what I worry about. They promised us the trident of CR7, Chiesa, Dybala. Why not make a new one with Keane and Morata? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hate it. I mean, I noticed we looked we looked better offensively back in 2018 or 2019, 2020 when you had Chiesa or CR7, Dybala, and who was the other? Okay. Refresh me. Who was the trident that was used with Dybala, CR7? Why am I blanking? Who am I missing? Oh, was that when you'd use like a Higuain, or who else was it that year? Excuse me, sorry. Jockey Bro says 100% yes. Okay, so he agrees with you, Crazy Ray. And he says, we're pretty much playing that today, though, with Danilo as a defender. Are you saying Danilo was that bad? I didn't think Danilo was that bad. I personally didn't think he was that awful, but... And then Johnny says, where's Ravella anyway? He wasn't loaned out, and he never plays in the first team. Yeah, he was. Ravella is over at, he's at Genoa. Am I wrong? Am I taking crazy pills? Give me just a sec. I'm pulling it up, Johnny. Let me get you. Genoa. Who they play this week? Let's see. Here we go. Okay, yeah, they lost to Fiorentina this week, and I'm pretty sure anybody else in the chat, am I missing the chat and somebody else already filled us in? Because I'm trying to find here's their lineup. Yeah, he was playing the center midfielder, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he plays for Genoa. He was really good. I'm pretty sure from everything I've seen and heard about people saying that he has literally been their best player. It wasn't Mandzukic. I'm talking about 1920, not before that, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah, and then Ryan, I think Ryan said it before I could do it. He's playing at Genoa, and he's their best player right now. He definitely is. Juventus needs to recall him. You're right. I forgot. Yeah, Mandzukic. Thank you, Ryan. You're right. Mandzukic. Yeah, but I think who I was thinking of was Higuain at that point for most of the time. And then everybody else is saying Genoa. I do too. I think you're seeing flashes of 2017 Alexandro. It's good to see him back and actually doing that. Hopefully he can keep it up. I'm always pessimistic to try to say that that he's gonna keep it up, just because when there's players like Alexandro or Bentancur like that usually let me down whenever I get too excited or ride the hype train with them. I'm gonna take a couple more questions if anybody else has any questions or anything they want to throw out there. Honestly, if you guys want to throw out anything that are just like fun questions, something to distract us from what we just experienced today, I'll answer that as well. But yeah, we're about to wrap it up here in just a sec. We've been going on for over an hour. Usman says, despite the initial hiccup, I still think we'll finish top 4. I mean, we're down 8 points right now. It's not. I mean, honestly, it could be worse right now. It could be a lot. I mean, it could be worse. I don't want to say a lot worse. It could be slightly worse than what we're at right now. It's possible. I need to have your positivity right now, Usman. But I haven't seen anything right now to kind of show me it. Ryan says, don't forget the goal Higuain against Merida for the second time in a row. That one was, yes, I will never forget that one. Oh, I love that one. Yes, I miss Higuain. He was one that, and I understand he was out of shape and whatever have you, but he was still capable of scoring. And I understand you had to get rid of him, but compared to some of the guys that we haven't sent. Um, and then Jockey Bro said, I watched the game, and yes, Rovella looked like he had complete control of the game for Genoa. He really did. He's a solid player. I think Juventus needs to go and pull him back. Oh, Ryan. I mean, this is depressing, is it not? Are you not depressed saying this, Ryan? Because I know I am. But yeah, the goal right now is top 4. If some miracle were to happen, we'll see. Okay, there's a fun question. Usman says PES or FIFA. I mean, I've always played FIFA more. I've actually never played PES before, so you'd have to tell me honestly. But I have leaned toward getting PES. I just don't have time to play video games anymore. I got a kid and all the stuff that goes along with that with my day job as well, so I don't really get to play anymore. But since Juventus, signed their rights with just PES, I've been leaning toward getting that as well. Spiros is saying that guys believe in it, support this team. I mean, we're supporting him. Just give me something to support. Just give me something to support, but I agree with you. Hector says I would have entered Bernadeschi and Chiesa at the same time. There's been a lot of Bernadeschi talking here. I don't know, guys. Like, well, the last time Bernadeschi did anything like this, I mean, obviously, yes, he did that against Atalanta. He scored against Atalanta in the preseason. But actually, for a meaningful game, the last time he did something like that was how long ago? I mean, was it the end? I mean, it was the end of 2019-2020 when they beat Sampdoria. It was the last time he scored or did anything of meaning. So I don't know. Fedas says this team has been downgraded drastically over the past years. Yeah, it is frustrating to see. You know what? Again, I said I wouldn't bring his name up, but CR7. The whole issue with him is you had all that money poured into him, and again, it's not a negative thing to say. He deserved it. You're the best when you're one of the top players, whatever, you get paid that. Or maybe not deserved it, but you can request that. Let's just say that. I won't say deserved it. I'm not getting into that debate today. But what I will say is because of that, you were kind of ham-tied or whatever you want to call it. What's the word I'm looking for? So you couldn't go after some of the guys that you needed to fill the other spots or to pay that money. I like the future of our team. So much bustling young talent. Maybe this is the awkward puberty stage. I hope. I mean, I hope this is. I mean, if it's not, I don't know what you're going to call this in a couple of years from now. If we didn't have such a bad start to the season, I'd be satisfied with this result. No, you're right. That is a very fair. That's a very fair statement. I guess what I would say is we literally came into this match knowing that this was do or die. And he kind of died. He kind of died a little bit there at the end. And that's all I can really say. Okay, yeah, it was a response to him. PES is free now. They're desperate. Okay, I'll give it out. I'll give it a chance. Bone says Rovella is physically and technically strong, very good at free kicks. I mean, yeah, I don't usually just buy into guys or whatever, but I'm bought into Rovella. I'm good to bring him in, bring him a part of this team. I was really kind of disappointed that they didn't, especially just because, if you recall, at the beginning of the season they talked about how Allegri was going to give him his shot in preseason, and then before even preseason he really kicked off, it was, oh yeah, he's back at Genoa. So anyway, Usman says prefer FIFA 2. Piemonte Calcio is amazing though. I need to check it out. I haven't even played since they've changed the name. Since they had to do that, not change the name, but you know what I mean. Piemonte. Ryan says I am being realistic right now. Scudetto seems further away to have a chance to win. At least we have to qualify for Champions League because of money. Don't forget we have to buy Chiesa and Morata. Oh no, I haven't forgotten. I know about the money. That's the one thing that I'm worried about. Is literally you're missing out on this. That's why you have to hopefully make it far. Now, damn it. Now, am I pivoting? Am I really pivoting now? Where I'm going to say we need to win, or not win, but we need to go as far as we can in Champions League just for the money. Jockey Bro says I like Berna, but I think he is the best. I like Berna, but I think he is best in the midfield 3 like Marquisio or Pogba. You're saying you think he is or you don't think he is? Huh. No. This one says, yeah, but Patrick Mahomes is still has an amazing team built around him. That's true. Are you... Who are you talking to? Okay, yeah, see, Ryan said the same thing about Jockey. I think maybe he may have left something out there. I'm not sure what he's saying. But then, it was fun. Were you talking about Patrick Mahomes? Was somebody talking about that? I mean, I understand what you're saying, though. Yeah, if we're going to NFL, he definitely does. He has a really good team. He's very solid, but yeah. Okay, Hector says, see you on Wednesday when we would be expecting our first win again. I don't like draw games. That's a very sad statement, Hector, but yeah, I appreciate you tuning in, and thanks for joining us. Guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new here. But yeah, definitely, hopefully we'll actually finally get a win. If they don't, I don't know. I mean, this place might just be on fire at this point if they fail to win that game. David says, I play PES and FIFA. They're both good for different reasons, but if you're on PC, PES is good to be modded. Okay, that'd be fun. I like that. Crazy Race says, top 4, Copa Italia and Champions League quarterfinals would be an okay season. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't argue with you. Yeah, I accept that. So basically, by what your logic or what you're saying is last year plus the Champions League quarterfinals. Yeah, I guess I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like I'm over here just a defeated man. But like, yeah, I guess I'd accept it. Yeah. And then Usman says 0-7 money thing. Mahomes still has an amazing team built around him. Oh yeah, absolutely. You're right. No, you're right. And that's where my criticism comes from him. But I understand why people would debate me with that when I say that there. Anyway, guys, I appreciate it. I'm going to have to wrap it up now. I actually got to take care of some things family-wise and all that's going on with that. But I appreciate you guys for joining me today for this post-match reaction. Just talking about in our misery together about Juve dropping the ball once again, finishing 1-1 against Milan. Literally, like I said, not a good start, a very frustrating start. Hopefully they can start to get some help from the other teams. Hopefully they can drop some more points and Juve can pick up some much needed points against Spezia and then Sampdoria in the coming week. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, if you haven't already, please like the video. It really helps the channel grow and to do better going forward, as well as also make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We want you guys to join our community. Eventually, what we're going to do here, and I want to do it, especially with me, the reason we talk about this being by the fans, for the fans, is really getting you guys involved as well. I can read your chat. I try to make sure I make that a priority in reading your chats, talking to you, having that back and forth. But I actually would like to do stuff where we can try to do it. I also want to say kind of like we're operating at like a radio station kind of thing, where I want to be able to have you guys actually call in and actually have verbal communication. We can have conversations about this. You guys can air your grievances over the stuff as long as you guys are under control. But I'd like to do that in the future. We'll see how that works out. But yeah, it would be a lot of fun to actually, hear your voices and your frustration instead of just me reading it out over this. But anyway, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone on Twitter and Instagram. Follow me at Justin Sofer on Twitter, and also follow Julian Genotti at Genotti151 on Twitter as well. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri. There's always next time.